was a dawn start with Ian Duncan and Amos Lach once again leading the field, heading off for the 70 kilometers of transport to the first control. Leg 1 comprised of 3 stages, and typical of the safari, they were all long. The shortest was stage 2 at 46 kilometers, followed by stage 3 of 51 kilometers, but the 87 kilometer stage 4 was the real test. Stages 3 and 4 were repeated to make up leg 2, giving an overall competitive distance of 324 kilometers. There was no time to settle in, with the first competitive calling for top-end speed on the fast open road across the Kajiado Plains, where the hundreds of jumps needed to have been graded correctly. Alistair Cavan and Gavin Lawrence set the pace, setting an average of 203 kph to take the stage win by 14 seconds. They were quickest again on stage 3 and by service held the lead by nearly a minute.
I'm not making any predictions, Tim. I've been in this position, I've been leading this event so many times, and it's always been unkind to me, so anything can happen. We'll just try and keep extending the lead a little bit if we can. But the main thing is to get through without any problems, I guess.
Carl Tundu and Tim Jessup were in their new Evo 9 for the first time, defending their safari win of last year, but didn't get off to a good start when they found themselves in 4th at the end of stage 2. They reacted by setting the second quickest time on stage 3, climbing 2 places to second, but at this pace it was going to be difficult to catch Kavanagh.
We took it easy through the first section, and probably a bit too easy. But my diff electrical system is packed up, so I don't have a rear diff. But it's okay. It's a good start.
The pace was surprisingly quick for such a long rally, and to maintain it, the cars were being punished. This is Ian Duncan and Amos Lach pushing their Evo 9 to the limit. They were in 3rd, just over a minute behind, knowing that this was how it was going to be throughout the event.
It's still long, so it's like, just because there's only 3 sections doesn't mean it's not long. So it's it is quite hard and rough. So you're not going to win it on the first 3 sections, that's for sure.
Bhagat Chaga and Raju Semi were the quickest of the Subarus in 4th. They were getting what they could out of the N16, forced to acknowledge the Mitsubishis had the edge.
They're taking all the risks because we can see all the marks where they're braking and where they're jumping and where they're landing. So there's some goddamn script marks all over the place right in front of us, and somebody somewhere is going to get caught out. I don't know who, I hope it's not me, but it's definitely part of the game today, I believe.
They were pinning their hopes on the nimble agility of the car on the longer stage ahead. Peter Horsey and Bella Erskine had taken over the Team Evo 10 for this event and was second quickest through stage 2, despite having never driven it competitively.
On 400 easy jump.
On stage 3 they lost the power steering, and it became hard work, knocking them off the pace, and they were running in 5th.
Our power steering fluid leaked, our rack is broken, so we dropped a lot of time. So we had to drive over 50 kilometers with no power steering. So as well as being absolutely knackered, we did unfortunately drop a lot of time. So it has put us back a bit, but if we can get it fixed now, then we'll definitely be out there and we'll be pushing again, try and catch up some of the lost time.
Jas Mangat and David Israel were the quickest of the foreigners, having not rallied in Kenya for over a year, were caught off guard by the pace of the locals. They were in 7th, over 3 minutes behind. Giancarlo De Vita and Sylvia Vindevogel are seen in the distance catching Mohamed Essa and Greg Stead, who had the misfortune to puncture. This gave them the early lead for the ARC points. Again in the distance, Giancarlo took a jump too fast, struggling to control the car on the landing. Despite breaking a top mount, followed by a puncture, they stayed ahead of Essa, although overall they were in 12th.
Yes, I think it's my mistake. I took the jump a little bit. It was a medium jump, but I think I was too fast and I landed on the left on the rocks. So tomorrow it will be a slow jump.
Mohamed Essa and Greg Stead lost 6 minutes changing the puncture they had, which lost them any chance of a top placing, and were driving to recover from 22nd. They immediately recovered 8 places on stage 3, but their main focus was to be quicker than De Vite, who was now 33 seconds ahead.
We changed the puncture pretty well, but the mud on my feet handicapped me. I couldn't press the brake, so every corner that came up, my foot kept on sleeping. Anyway, that's rally, I guess. 80k stage to go, so it should be interesting.
By the end of stage 3, the Safari had already claimed 8 cars, including Raji Barich and Jeff Mays, who had pinned their hopes on a top 5 placing. They were lying 9th when they cut a corner hitting a rock, damaging a front wheel, and their rally was over. After nearly 100 kilometers of competitive motoring, Alistair Kavanagh was out in front by 54 seconds ahead of Carl Tundo, but with over 200 kilometers still ahead, the leaderboard at this stage was only a yardstick. The most prominent navigator in the event was Dennis Giraudet, on a break from the WRC, sitting alongside Manveer Baryan. They landed nose first on one of the yumps, forced to nurse the car to service, and spent the rest of the rally climbing through the ranks from 19th. Dennis is no newcomer to the Safari, seen here balancing the Citroën of Thomas Radstrom. But his most notable drive was with Armin Schwartz in 1997, when they came 4th.
No, I enjoy a lot. It's a pity that it's not anymore part of the WRC. It's especially a pity because WRC at the moment is a little bit boring. You know, we miss that kind of adventure feelings, and only places like Kenya can give you that. So hopefully it will come back.